This is momentum selling. Earn trust early, remove friction, and show up in a way buyers remember. Let's get to work.
Imagine this: fluorescent lights, an old-school clock on the wall. A new rep stands at one end of a boardroom table. Their knuckles are white on top of a fresh stack of pitch notes, just waiting for the right cue to launch that perfect closing line. Across the table, the client fidgets, runs a finger around the rim of a coffee cup. There's a pause, just barely, a question dying to be asked. But it slips away. The rep sticks to the script, the clock ticks louder, and what mattered most gets lost in the tension. I always think, real magic never happens in those polished lines, but in the tiny human beats most people either miss or don't have the guts to lean into, like a prospect's subtle cues, or even acting on opportunities to serve people by pointing out small improvements that could help them.
That was me in my first year. I can't count the times I had my head buried in bullet points, just tunnel vision. You're so locked in on what's my next line that you miss the stuff that really counts. The minute I stopped chasing perfect and became a human talking with a human, that's when the real conversation started. Not that I always get it right, just it became more real. That's where the trust lies.
It's surprising how often we miss what's right in front of us. I remember early in my career someone said to me, "You can't serve a need you refuse to see." That sentence still follows me around, makes you wonder how much of what we prep for is just a safety blanket for our own nerves. Sometimes all that rehearsal blinds you to the fact that you're serving someone that's asking for your help. Observe, listen, ask, be curious, build trust, and build a better solution. That's how you increase your personal brand, your value, and your close rate. If you're selling somebody shoes, dinner, an air conditioning system, or a CRM system, it's all the same. It's humans creating and showing value for other humans.
Yeah, and look, I get why we cling to prep. We're told, plan, prep, know your offer cold. But it gets in the way when you're more focused on getting through your slide deck than reading the face across the table. I can admit, I still catch myself drifting into autopilot mode now and then. It's one thing to be ready, but it's a whole other thing to be present.
And that's really the core of momentum selling, right? We talked last time about how the pros prepare like it truly matters, but that's just your foundation. Stability so you're not flapping in the wind. But the real juice is, are you present enough to catch the little moments that matter? A sudden look of confusion, a laugh that doesn't quite reach the eyes, or even just someone going a little quiet after a big feature drop. Those are cues. That's when momentum gets built. Not in the polished slides or proposal or elevator pitch, but in the tiny moments, the opportunities you see and act on, opportunities to connect and serve.
That reminds me of my first big deal. I was 24, trying to close an HVAC contract. My manager got sick, sent me in solo. I ditched the script, mainly because my brain blanked. But then, I heard it. The client starts venting about how past vendors never listened. So I just leaned in, shut up, and let him get it out. That's when things turned. There was this little pivot in the air. I caught his real worry, and suddenly, it wasn't about specs anymore. It was about trust. We both relaxed and talked it out.
That's exactly it. Preparation gets you to the table, but presence moves the conversation forward. And honestly, there's no single script for real human connection. Each person, each deal is a new dance. You gotta notice the rhythm, feel when the music changes, and let yourself adjust in that space. It's not about being slick. It's about being in tune with another human being one moment at a time.
So much of this is like what we said in the last chapter about the 3 moves in advance thing. You can prep those moves, but if you can't spot when it's time to ditch your plan, well, what are you doing? Sometimes the right move is the one the other person is silently asking for, but doesn't say out loud. I don't always catch it, but man, when I do, that's when the deal actually feels good for both of us.
Let's put this into a few real-world stories. Picture a pharma rep. She's across from a doctor, launches into her product claims, doesn't notice the skeptical eyebrow raise, just powers through. Next visit, though, she pauses, picks up on that little furrow, and simply asks, "Is there something on your mind?" Suddenly, the real objection comes out, right in the open. That's where momentum lives.
I've seen that play out in the SaaS world. Rep gives the shiny demo, Tech buyer goes quiet. I've been guilty of thinking, yeah, he's bored. Guess I should move on. But next round, you pause, check in, and it turns out he doesn't get the feature at all. You ask about it, he confesses, and you clear up the confusion. The conversation gets traction, and a demo gets booked.
Or take the car sales floor. Customer bites his lip during the price talk. Miss the cue, the deal fizzles. Pick it up, you segue to, are you still comfortable with the monthly payment? Now suddenly you find out it's a payment plan concern, which you can solve together. Micro adjustment, human moment.
All right, want to show folks how this actually goes down? Let's role play. You're pitching, I'm the nervous client. Ready?
Sure, let's do it. So, our training program guarantees measurable improvement within the first 60 days.
Okay.
And moving on, the next feature.
Okay, wait, can we rewind? Let's do it again, but this time you catch my pause.
All right. Our training program guarantees measurable improvement. You look a little skeptical. Do you have a concern?
Yeah, I guess I'm worried measurable means I'll be expected to show numbers that I don't even have yet. Makes me nervous.
Thank you for saying that. Let's talk about ways to track progress that feels doable for you. No pressure.
See, right there is the pivot. You noticed, leaned in, and now it's not selling, it's actually helping. That's where trust is built.
And you're able to talk about ways to track that progress because you anticipated that question and prepared for it. If you take away one thing, let it be this. Momentum starts with setting a higher standard, then preparing better than everyone else, and then connecting by adjusting on the fly. It takes all three.
So here's your homework. Tomorrow, in your next sales call or meeting, slow down just long enough to spot one small cue. Doesn't have to be dramatic. A pause, a frown, anything. Then ask about it, just human to human, and see what unfolds. Notice, ask, adjust.
Remember, effort isn't just the bar you set and the work you do before the meeting. It's staying present enough to shift in the middle and human enough to serve the moment right in front of you.
All right, that's a wrap for this chapter and the effort part of momentum selling. See you all in Chapter 4, where we enter the ease part. This is where all your effort really starts to pay off. See you all there.
You've been listening to Momentum Selling. Turn today's idea into one repeatable habit. Stay consistent, stay human, and we'll catch you on the next episode.